welcome to Bears Banter, where the Bears fans meet to talk about the Chicago Bears. Welcome to week number 14. Today on the broadcast, we have myself, Bernard Muhammad, Keith Flournoy. We have our intern, Donte Williams. We have Tammy Harris. We have Jaye Beasley. And sitting in for Guy Moore tonight is our guest speaker, Mike Quick Outen. How y'all doing tonight?
Good.
What's going on, everybody?
Everybody doing good? Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Man, we I adjusted the number. If y'all heard me say 14, I moved it up to the actual football week since the Bears actually had a bye week. Even though the Bears are on game 13, this is actually the 14th week of the football season. So I just want to make sure everybody understood what I did there. So on the last week broadcast, I went back and changed the number to 13. But anyway, I was going through some of the things that we seen this week, and I'm really kind of confused of which way the Bears are going. It made me actually dig into some stuff, but let me see if anybody else got some things on their mind before we get into the broadcast on some things that I kind of went through some stats to figure out. Anybody want to start off with some things that they pondered this week?
Ain't nothing really to ponder. The Bears are going backwards. They're going backwards. Actually, we actually thought that when they brought Nick Foles in, he was the savior for the Atlanta game, and everybody got excited. But now, when I look at it, at the overall thing, Foles didn't win a game for us. He didn't win. I take that back. He did win the Tampa Bay game. But outside of that, we could have kept Mitch in for what it's worth right now. So they're going backwards right now. They're going backwards.
Okay, the Bears are going backwards. Anybody else want to say anything before we jump into the first question?
Besides the fact that we suck right now, man. I mean, literally, we suck right now. You talk about three phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. There has not been a bright spot on any focus of the game. Defense is not the traditional Bears defense, is applying pressure and just bringing the heat, making spectacular plays, causing turnovers. We're not doing that. Offensively, we looked pretty good last week, but we need to be in a synagogue this week playing Texans. That's all I got to say about that, man.
Wow.
And the sad thing about that,
Man.
right?
Get your prayer on. Get your prayer on.
Right.
And Mike, the sad thing about that is, like you said, our defense. When you up by 10 points, the Bears ain't never been up by 10 points all season. This is when your pass rush is supposed to show up, and we didn't get nothing. You can't rush the passer. Your reward as a pass rusher is to rush the passer when your team is up by points, and they was up by 10 points, and we still didn't get no pass rush, which is how Stafford picked us apart.
Okay. Hey, Plank, I want you to I had two videos I wanted you to queue up. If you could queue up the first one, it's with the fumble.
The first was the fumble? Okay.
Yeah, the first one was the fumble.
Give me a second.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up last week's game before we get into our first question because of the way that game ended, and Jay just brought to my attention to bring that up when he mentioned about being up by 10 points. And one of the things on the, I would say the first 3 or 4 games that was a constant that we talked about as far as the Bears was one is, and Jay says it all the time, is the OC, whoever it might be right now, needs to call the game that's in front of them. And what I kind of came upon is the Bears actually played what they call it, they look at stats and everything, but really not playing a situation of the games. Like this is what it calls for you to do in this situation. But maybe this situation, based off how your team performing, calls for you to actually kick the field goal versus going for it on 4th and 1. So let's bring up this first play where, let me bring it into the stream.
Okay, as you can see, we're within 2 minutes of the offense. 9 of the fourth quarter. Let's go ahead and play it. Wow.
Okay, so let's move that. So when you look at that, there was 1 minute and 46 seconds left in the game. Both teams had 2 timeouts. And this is actually one of the conversations that we had through the first 4 games is the Bears' clock management at the end of games. See, maybe when you look at what the stats tell you to do, it tells you should be throwing the ball. But what the game situation actually told you is that team had 2 timeouts. You passed the ball 2 straight times with 1 minute and 46 seconds when you should have been forcing them on second down. You could have made them timeouts. So what you allowed them to do is, and if you looked at the score, let me bring that up again.
Actually, on that second one, on the second down, Trubisky actually ran. But let's go ahead and
run. He ran on second, okay.
He ran, so that's why I said it would. That showed that he was aware, but then he went right back again on third down and did something different.
Okay, so let's run this again one more time. What happened?
Yikes!
Held the ball too long, etc.
Fumble.
It's 3rd and 4. It's 3rd and 4. Donnell Mooney flashed right in front of his face.
Right in front of his face. Can you move it? Put the arrow behind his face.
Wide open. Right here.
Yeah. Yep.
And he looks disgusted.
But that just lets you know how Mitch's decision making is just not good. It takes him too long to process the information or the formation that he's seeing.
Yeah.
But if you see that play, Mooney runs off the line, wide open, untouched, uncovered.
Let's run it one more time, okay?
Man. What I want to acknowledge right here, if you need an Austin attorney, you see the comment down to this young lady, Abiola, she's an Austin attorney. She's actually represented me in a few cases that I had.
Uh-oh.
As far as in my business. Not legal, but business.
Wait.
Thank her for coming on the broadcast tonight. But anyway, let's put that up there one more time, Plank.
All right. You ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I still think that 4th and 2 play was the biggest play.
We're gonna come with that one.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on, let's bring it up again.
Okay, this time look at that same thing. You saw Mooney was wide open. Let's run it back one more time.
Watch him off the line. Watch him off the line of scrimmage.
Boom! Right? Come on, man.
Boom, right there.
The linebacker is actually bailing on that play.
Yep.
So Mooney catches the ball, is one-on-one with the linebacker, and a potential first down.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, Plank,
you decide to run the ball.
Plank, can you bring that next play up? Then we'll go to our normal part of the format. I just want to add a few little things today.
All right, give me a second.
This is the Allen Robinson play.
Let me close
All right, you ready? It's coming.
As a referee, we watch enough bad football.
And we're going to go ahead and run it.
3rd and 5. Trubisky, Robinson,
ow. Is my nose bleeding? Let's play that back one more time.
You want to play it back one more time? Okay.
One more time.
One more time. Hold on. Let me see if I get it in the hold on, let me do this. I gotta add it back.
Okay, you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Remember, this is we're trying to drive for a game-winning touchdown. 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5. Trubisky, Robinson, and Robinson.
Ow.
We fall down, but we get up. Oh, sorry, was that?
Now, what you can see in that play, the defensive player actually fell down in that play. and he's at least 3 yards at a minimum away from Robinson. Not only Robinson should have caught that ball, just turned around and got the first. He was even shocked when he turned around and ran out of bounds and realized that the defender wasn't even in a position to tackle him. So I don't understand that. I mean, that's bad field awareness on Allen Robinson part. We're gonna get into route
He
running.
compounded the problem on that one because number one, he made the catch, but he didn't make the first down. Number two, he stepped out of bounds when the guy actually fell down, and he had an opportunity to at least make a few more yards, get him a little bit closer. So that was a whole lot of bonehead plays on one play.
Okay.
But AR played a heck of a game. I'm not going to eat his lunch for that one mistake.
Yeah,
Right.
he did. Yeah, he did. As he do every week. He come to play every week. So
We all down.
Hey, okay, so here's the first question. What can do to turn around this losing streak? And you want to start out, Donte?
Yeah, the only way the Bears can turn this around is if they have better third quarters. They need to stick to what they know in the second half. You know, the Bears, I think they the worst third quarter team in the league. So if in the second half they can stick to what they know, which is running the ball. Obviously, if passing is not their strength, you know, you got to feed. You saw last game, they fed David Montgomery the ball. They fed Patterson the ball, and good things happen. So I think they need to stick to what they know in the third quarter when the second half starts, and it'll be success. And the defense needs to wake up, of course. But those two things are key for them to turn it around.
Okay. Hey, Tammy, what you have?
Yeah, I agree. The offense needs to stick to what we do best, and that's run. Their passing is too inconsistent. Even when they put up a bunch of passing yards, it does not equate to anything. Nothing materializes from it. So they need to make better decisions about when to effectively pass the ball, but when they need to go back to running it to make what happened needs to happen. And unfortunately, the defense, has gotten a bit deflated in the past, few quarters. I don't know if it's because, they were pulling us through, the first half of the season, and maybe they just kind of lost their motivation because the offense wasn't showing up. It wasn't consistent. I think we waited too long to make a change on the play calling. I really do believe that if we would have made an earlier change on the play calling, then maybe they would be in a bit better sync with Bill Lazor's play calling. Not that he's perfect, but I think that it's better, and they could have found a rhythm. So I think the offense needs to continue what they're trying to do, but eliminate the bonehead plays, and the defense needs to wake back up.
Okay, great commentary.
Good
Hey,
point.
Mike, you're up.
Yeah, I think what the Bears need to do to turn this around is kind of build on some of the success that we had last week from an offensive perspective. So Mooney actually did a good showing, so let's try to focus on him a little bit better. Cole Kmet came out and did a really good job, made a couple good catches, got some yak after the catch, so let's build on that. Montgomery showed himself to be more of a beast, and the offensive line did a pretty good job. So from an offensive standpoint, I think we need to continue on, the same things we've been working on. Defense has to show up. Defense was ridiculous. I'm very, very upset, and I gotta defend the defense against all the rest of the people on this show. So that makes me that much more fired up. But come on, we all bring it.
Okay. Hey, Jay, you're up.
Tammy said it last week. How do you turn this around? You got to get a win. You got to get a win some kind of way, because the bottom line is you're looking at it this way now. You either going to lose out or you're still going to try to make a run for it. Offensively, I really think they found something with the interior with Mustafa at center.
Yeah.
And you got Cody Whitehair and Alex Barnes playing at the guard spots, which I think opened up some holes for Montgomery last week. So you got to do that. Playing against the Texans, you should be able to continue to run the football. But in order to get this turned around, you just got to get a win, man. You just got to get a win.
Wait, I think I read something that said we were 0-4 against the Texans. Is
We
that
are
right?
1-4 against the Texans.
Yeah.
So you stole my caveat, Tammy. Yep. We have not beat the
Caveat.
Texans. We have not beat the Texans in their existence. We
Look,
are
Deshaun Watson been feeling some type of way ever since
It
we
won't be
passed him
this
in the
week
draft.
either.
He feeling some type
Won't
of
be
way.
this
Well,
week
this
either.
this actually be the first time Deshaun Watson is playing against the Bears. But I hold that. I hold that. But yeah, we are 0-4 against the Texans.
So yeah, I want to mention Guy Moore couldn't make the broadcast tonight, but Mike Quick is sitting in for him. So Mike, what you got to say about this question?
Well, it says, what can the Bears do to turn this around besides going in the locker room and sitting a whole grenade up in there? We just have to keep it simple. I think we have to attack on defense. And, a couple years ago, the Bears were creating points off of turnovers. And so now I mentioned it last week with Pagano taking over, we've lost our aggressiveness. And so I'm not really sure what we have on defense, but we're going to have to do something. Deshaun Watson right now is one of the top 5 in the league as far as players. I think we have to run the football. I know a couple of the people said that we have to stick to what we do best. And right now we suck at running the football. You have to run the football and play good defense. We were nicknamed the Monsters of the Midway. And right now, until Lori Lightfoot opens up Club Dub, we are in trouble. She has to lift the ban of the club being open. And until the mayor does that, Lori, are you listening to me? You got to open up Club so Club Dub can be open again. We are in trouble.
Well, we should say what we historically do best.
Yeah, but as I said before, right now, all of the Bears players should be in a synagogue, and they all should be holding hands, talking about bum, stickity, bum. I got the upper, pop, I'm a deep fire, foe, diddly dumb, here I come. No, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, what I want to say is the Bears, in order for the Bears to turn this around, the Bears going to have to play better defense, to be honest. The defense is not getting enough criticism. I went through some stats. Let me get this in front of me. Of the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, the last 6 games. They haven't won since they lost to the Rams. The Bears gave up 24 points to the Rams. They gave up 26 points to the Saints. They gave up 24 points to the Titans. They gave up 19 points to the Vikings. They gave up 41 points to the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
They gave up 34 points to the Lions. That's 168 points over 6 games, which means over the last 6 games on this losing streak, the Bears are giving up an average of 28 points a game. You're not winning any games giving up 28 points. Now, the Bears
offensively scoring 5 points. You're right.
Yeah. Now, offensively, the Bears, through those same 6 games, offensively scored 10 points, 23 points, 17 points, 13 points, 25 points, 30 points. A total of 118 points over 6 games, which is an average of 19 points a game. That's your losing streak. So, but if you look at the last 2 points, with the last games, they've scored 25 and 30, which means they're kind of going in the right direction. So for the Bears to turn this around, for sure, their defense are going to have to play better than this. See, their average is distorted when you add the first 6 games in. But if you add if you just isolate these last 6 games on this losing streak, they're giving up too many points. Now, I know the offense plays some part in it for lack of production. It's part of it too. But if you're an elite defense, you cannot give up these many points, regardless of what your offense is doing.
Come on.
So, hey, let's move to the next one.
He can't wait.
Come on. He look like Prince almost. He look like Prince. Come on.
Hey, we partying like it's 1985, baby.
Right. Okay. Hey, I know this question seems redundant, but this question is actually more specific to the game itself. What do the Bears need to do to win against the Texans? The Bears are 5-7, and the Texans are 4-8. So hey, let's start with Jaye. You up?
Run the ball. The Texans defense is not good at all. Outside of J.J. Watt, you can't even name nobody on their defense. You got to be able to run the football. They have a lot of injuries on defense, and I want to say their defense is ranked near the bottom half in the NFL. I don't have no stats in front of me as far as they go, but in order to win this game, you got to run the football. You got to keep Deshaun Watson off the field. He's without his top wide receiver, Will Fuller. He's out. PED suspension. And they working with some rookie corners, and they got some guys on offense who just kind of came alive last week. I kind of watched the game last week. They kind of came alive, but outside of Deshaun Watson, offensively, this team has nothing. So in order for you to win this game, you got to keep Deshaun Watson on the sideline. And how do you do that? Is you control the clock and you run the football.
Good point.
Okay. Hey, Mike, you're up.
Oh, it says, what do the Bears need to do to win the game? I keep trying to tell you guys they need to be in the synagogue right now. Jay mentioned the defense. J.J. Watt is going to be a problem. I can see Leno. If he lines up in front of Leno, it's going to be about 4 holding calls.
Katie barred the door.
Yep.
So it's just we have to put up another offensive production like we did last week, but we're going to have to play good defense, control field position, control the clock. We stopped doing that in the second half. We get up, we start celebrating a little bit too early, and things do not go our way after the second half. So we have to. And I want to bring something up real quick because I've said this earlier. The Bears are about 4 plays away from only winning 1 football game this year. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm a Bears fan, but listen, you keep putting out a mediocre. You keep putting out a mediocre product, and you keep trying to feed me like it's caviar. But you giving me, some little, little Vienna sausages, I'm gonna have a complaint. And I just think that we need to turn some stuff around. Maybe, hey Tammy, they got some spots open, man. I'm telling you, you know more football than half of them jokers down there anyway.
Yeah.
So
I looked up something and I forgot what the numbers are. And I know what you're saying, but we could also look at it another way because I'm a Bears fan and I like to be more optimistic. But I don't remember I don't know how many plays, but there are more than half of our games, like in the last 2 to 3 years. I can't remember what the article was that I was reading. More than half of our games, something like 70% of our games were lost by 1 possession. So we could look at it the other way and say, not about the losses, but the wins, like with certain different decisions, we could have a completely different record on the winning side.
So you're saying fire Nagy then? Okay, I'm with that. I'm with that. Nagy is nagging me. That's what I'm saying. Nagy nags me. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Plank, you're up.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about what we as the Chicago Bears need to do. So instead of saying they messed up and this part of the team messed up, the other part of the team messed up, we need to play as a team. First and foremost, it's not offense versus defense versus special team. The Chicago Bears are one entity. That said, one of the things we need to do is control the clock. So defense, what we need to look at is a lot of 3 and outs. So when they're out there, they need to be committed to getting Houston off the field as quickly as possible. 3 and out, give the ball back to the offense, give us more of a chance to get some continuity. From an offensive standpoint, we need to sustain some drives. So we can't do a 3 and out and get the ball right back. That way your defense is tired, you're out of breath, and that's debilitating for the entire team's morale. So if we can get the offensive team to run a couple, even if they don't score, 6 plays on a drive, that's better than what we've been doing. So let's focus on the defense getting some 3 and outs, the offense sustaining some drives, and I think we'll be in a decent position at that point.
Okay, hey, Donte, what we need to do?
Well, from an offensive standpoint, we need to be able to take advantage of the Texans defense. I have an interesting stat I actually want to share with y'all.
Hey,
The Texans are second to last in rush defense in the league.
Okay, I knew it was something like that.
So the Bears need to do what they did to the Lions last game. They need to keep feeding David Montgomery the ball, Cordell Patterson. They need to get them running the ball, and then from a defensive standpoint, they need to get to Deshaun Watson because he's throwing over 270 yards, a little bit over 270 yards per game. So if they can find a way to get to Deshaun Watson, which is pretty it should be easy because the Texans have one of the worst offensive lines in the league, actually. So if they can find some way to get to Deshaun Watson and throw him off his game, the Bears can come with the W.
Okay, thank you. Hey, I just want to point out to people who are new on this broadcast, Donte is actually a student at Western Illinois University. He's majoring in broadcasting. Donte joined us maybe about 2 weeks ago. He's doing an intern with us, so we're giving him on-air experience, and we'd like to wish him luck on his finals. Have you finished finals or?
It's next week. So
okay, good luck on your finals.
all A's, right?
Right.
All A's.
Right.
Yeah.
And Mike is sitting there for Guy Moore. I almost did like I did last week and merged Donte Williams with Guy Williams. I actually did play football with Guy Williams, but no, me and Guy Moore actually been friends since 8th grade. But hey, Tammy, was that your answer, or do you want to add a little bit more on what the Bears need to do? I know we kind of.
Well, I have to say I pretty much agree with everybody else, and I agree with Keith. We one team. What I said last week when we played is we need the whole team to show up, not just the offense, not just the defense. We need the whole team. We don't have blue uniforms and orange uniforms. We got one uniform. So no red states, no blue states. So we just got to play as one team. So I completely agree with that. We do need to run the ball. There's a difference between not being able to run the ball and choosing not to run the ball. And I think that most of this season we chose not to run the ball because of the play calling. But when we have decided to run the ball, we have shown that it can be effective. So they just have to be consistent with doing it. And we need the defense to find their spark and show up like the monsters that we are.
Okay. Yeah, hey, the only thing I wanted to add other than what I said earlier as far as play good defense, I do believe the Bears need to commit to the run, commit to it. Don't just do one run and then pass 5 times in a row. The Bears need to commit to the run. But hold on, I need to take a break. That's actually the wrong one. Hold on, let me.
They pulled this off tonight.
Bears Banter, where the fans go to share their views on the Bears game. 2 days before the game is the prediction show. Tune in at 7 p.m. for Football 101. Be sure to catch the post-game show 30 minutes after each game on Facebook and
One thing I would say
YouTube.
about the Bears,
You too can be a part
every
of the
screen
Bears.
is in your
Be
playbook.
sure to like,
Just burn
share,
it.
and subscribe
Burn
to
it.
Bears Banter
The
on
Bears
Facebook.
cannot run a screen.
Be consistent.
Hey,
I want to play
Bernard,
the Bears Banter commercial.
hey, Bernard, every time I go back and look at shows, man, it's just so funny because I watched the show where you said Nick Foles cannot play. He was like, Nick Foles, he cannot play. And I'm like, this guy is a Super Bowl MVP. And Bernard's just flat out saying, this guy cannot play.
So hey,
Wow.
let's move to the bragging rights. Man, they messing up our bragging rights, man. We can't even brag good no more.
I can't even catch up.
So this is what we have going right now through 12 games. Matter of fact, Mike, I could have threw you down for 0-1 too.
No, I'm a special guest. I thought about that. I'm a special
Don't put me in there. Don't put me in there.
Oh, man.
So hey, we got Tammy at 4-8, Jaye at 4-8. I'm at 6-6. Guys at 5-7. Clank is at 6-6, and Donte is at 0-1. So let's move to to predictions. So before we get to the predictions, hey, let's look at some of the things that affects a game. We're going to bring in the injury report. That Donte could share this with us of what you have.
Yeah, from the Bears standpoint, Buster Screens will be out. He has a concussion. So I'm pretty sure people are not mad about that. And Khalil Mack is questionable with knee injury. And I don't know if you guys remember last weekend, he was questionable with the same injury. So you can clearly see it's lingering. And then their tight end, J.P. Holmes, is questionable with a shoulder and knee injury. Now for the Texans, they start wide receiver Will Fuller will be out. He's suspended from a drug policy from the NFL, along with their cornerback Bradley Roby with the same suspension. And their running back David Johnson is out. I guess he has COVID-19, so he's on reserve.
Oh wow! Okay.
And you can see two other wide receivers they have are out with a knee and neck injury. So the Texas offense look kind of depleted right now.
So you saying we're going against third and fourth string receivers?
Yep.
Wow.
And if we lose, I will have no faith.
Okay. Hey, Donte, that was a very good report you did. It was formatted real nice, easy to read. Great job.
Good job.
Good job, man. We appreciate your help. We added a little bit more things to the broadcast each and every week. And the guys said, hey, let's try to extend this to an hour. So I said, well, we got an hour. We could add a little bit more to the broadcast. So let's get to the predictions of the game. And we got a little bit more information before we pick this because I'm still kind of on the fence trying to figure out what I'm going to do. But I'm not exactly sure yet. But let's start here. The Texans started out the season 0-4. They fired their coach and their general manager when they was 0-4.
Same guy.
Who was that?
He was the same guy.
He's the same guy.
Oh, same guy. Yep, same guy. Yep.
That's the two.
He held both jobs. This is one of the things of when some of those Patriots ex-coaches get hired and they give them too many responsibilities just because they was there with Bill Belichick, But anyway, since then, I think Romeo Cornell taking over, right? I think he was one.
Yep.
They've gone 4-4 since the firing of the coach. And so right now they're presently 4-8. So they did, at least they're 500 since they fired their coach. The Bears offense is ranked 30th right now. The average, so they actually went up a slot because last week they was ranked 31st. They're averaging 20.5 a game. The Texas offense is ranked 17. They're averaging 24 points a game. The Bears defense have fallen a lot over the last several weeks. The Bears defense is ranked 15. They're giving up 23.7 points a game. The Texans defense is ranked 30th. Let me note right there. So the Bears offense is ranked 30th, and the Texas defense is ranked 30th. So that's almost like a
flip-flop.
Yeah, and if you look at the defense, the Texans offense is ranked 17, and the Bears defense is ranked 15. So they're not too much difference. The Texans defense they give up on an average 26.9 points a game. The Bears, through 12 games, have only gotten 23 sacks. That's averaging 1.7 sacks a game. Mac has 6.5 sacks. Quinn,
don't mention his name.
Yeah, he's part of the Bunny and Clyde team, right? Robbing the bank. He has 1 sack. Matter of fact, Mingo, who was brought in as a backup to him, Mingo actually has 3 sacks. So Mingo is actually outplaying Quinn, who was supposed to be the starter. Hicks got 3.5 sacks. The Texans have. What's that? What you got, Jay?
Oh, sorry, man.
Oh, go ahead, Jay.
Guess what? Leonard Floyd.
Oh, no.
Leonard Floyd got the same amount of sacks as Khalil Mack and Robert Quinn combined. Take that to the bank. Take that to the bank.
Yeah, man. You know what, bro? You know what, Jay? That Rams front four is vicious.
It's a beast, man. It's a beast.
I mean, Floyd getting some accidental sacks because those other three guys are coming at you so hard that sometimes the guy is bailing out and just running right into Floyd. But hey, a sack is a sack still, right? I'm not trying to discredit the sack, but that front line.
When you got a good pass rush, that's what a person like Floyd's supposed to be.
Correct.
That's what he's supposed to be. When you got people putting pressure on the quarterback, you supposed to accidentally get those sacks that you're getting. And yeah, he's working out real well for them, and he's a lot cheaper. Yeah, he's a lot cheaper too.
Yeah. Hey, so anyway, I think where I was at was the Texans have 28 sacks over 12 games, which is an average of 2.5 sacks a game. So that brings us to
predictions.
What is our predictions in Game 13, the Bears versus the Titans? Who would like to go first? Oh, you know what? I'll read Guy's first since Guy is not on the broadcast. Guy sent in his prediction. Hold on. I didn't write who he said was winning. I have him saying 21-7. He had who? Texans?
He said the Texans were winning.
Okay. So he got the Texans winning 21-17.
Wow.
All right. Well, let's see what he got.
Okay, who's up next? Come on with
you
it.
You up next. Oh, yeah, you can't wait for everybody else to get a...
Right.
I'll go.
Who go?
I'll go.
Oh, go ahead.
Dante said he go.
I got the Texans winning 30-20. I think they got the. I think I want to choose the Bears, but they got the better quarterback. It can go either way, but they got the better quarterback.
Okay.
And I think J.J. Watt gonna cause problems.
Okay.
Clearly.
Leno, watch out. Holding. On the
offense. He throwing those watch out blocks.
We be hollering back at Mitch. Look out!
I got you, Bernard.
You got me? Okay. I'm about to write mine down. Let me write it
down. Because I want the Bears to win, I'm going to call it legitimately. But I think the Bears are trying to disappoint their fans. A loss would actually do us much better, helps our draft position. So because of that, I think the Bears are going to win 21-20. I'm taking the Bears.
Okay, Plank. Let me get back on the screen. Plank has the Bears winning 21-20. I'm going to go up. I have the Texans winning 30-28.
Okay.
Okay, so we down to Jaye and Tammy. Who wants to go? You want to Tammy,
okay.
I see you smack your lips, so you up.
Okay. Well, I think we actually have a legit chance to win. I don't think it's going to be a blowout game. I don't think it's going to be a great game. I don't think it's going to be it's not going to be a game necessarily that we feel good about. I mean, it'll feel good to win, but I mean, with the way the whole season went to the toilet, I mean, it's kind of not much to get excited about at this point. But I think the Bears are going to pull it out. So I'm going to say the Bears are going to win 24-21.
Ooh.
All right.
Oh.
Okay.
Tammy, you stole.
Okay, AJ.
Four-string receivers. Okay, let's see.
I was laughing because Tammy, you stole my score. You stole my score.
Oh, okay.
Bears 21, Texas. I'm sorry, Bears 24, Texas 21.
Wait, Jay, you going for the Bears?
I'm actually picking the Bears this week. I'm actually picking the Bears this week. I just think that offensively the Texans have too much to overcome. I was looking at the injury report that Donte put up. I didn't know Brandon Cooks was out too. They down to some free agents and third stringers at wide receiver. And the bottom line is, as good as Deshaun Watson is, who I wanted instead of Mitch, I just don't think he's gonna be able to do it by himself.
But you gotta look at this too. The team we just lost to last week, the Texans just whooped them a couple weeks ago.
I understand.
And they've been having a lot of injuries since. So
but guess what? We should have lost last week. Detroit is a bad football team, and when the Texans spanked them, they were supposed to spank them. So I'm not looking at it. I'm not looking at it like that.
Different coach.
Mike, what do you got, Mike?
I'm actually doing some math right now.
Uh-oh.
Wait. My phone's ringing. It's a 214 area code. I think the Texans are calling me to see if I can play receiver this week. They don't have anybody left. Yeah. You want me to play? Okay, I may have to change my position if I'm playing. I got to change. I got to score 27-23, and I don't know who's going to win the game, so we're going to let the quarter decide today. I got the Texans.
Wow.
Yeah, I got the Texans for heads and the Bears for tails. Here we go. All right. It came up heads. We're going Texans 27, Bears 23. Nagy gets fired after next week, and all is right with the world. Lori's going to open up Club Dub next week after the vaccine comes, and we're going to get back on track. Texans 27-23. You heard it here first, and I get free picks because I'm a special guest. So my number's going to come up on the block.
Hey, Mike,
there we go.
Let us see that quarter first, okay?
Right.
Here it is right here. It wasn't double-headed. I think Deshaun Watson, you remember when Patrick Mahomes came in here after the Bears didn't pick him.
He brought some people with him too, though.
Hey, man, listen. We're not getting any pressure on the quarterback at all, and so if you let that guy sit back there, I don't care who's running routes. He will be able to pick you apart, and you don't want him running the football. So you got to put some pressure on him. But this quarter here, I'm going to save this quarter for you here, Plank.
All right.
This quarter here said Texans. I just got to go with the quarter.
Well, defenses don't show up.
Let's keep in mind, Buster Screen is not playing this game, so it's going to be that much harder for him to figure out who to throw it against.
I take that in consideration, too. I was like, Buster's not playing.
Hey, let me do a recap.
Buster's a buster. I'm sorry.
Let me do a recap. I got a guy picking Texas 21-17. Donte picked the Texans 23-20. Plank picked the Bears
30-20.
Yeah, he's at 31.
Oh, 30. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Yep. I'm sorry. You got 30-20. Plank has the Bears 21-20. I have the Texans 30-28. Matter of fact, I'm sorry. I'm put 30-27. Tammy has the Bears 24-20. Jaye has the Bears exact same score 24-20.
No, I said 24-21.
24-21.
24-21.
Yeah.
Okay.
We both said 21.
And Mike has the game 23. The Texans. Okay. Hold on 1 minute. Yep. Hold on. We got a commercial coming up.
Love don't mean a thing. A little something for the steppers. The new upcoming release by Tammy Harris coming to you this Christmas.
Love don't mean a thing if I don't have you. If I don't have you, love don't mean a thing. Love don't mean a thing if I don't have you. If I don't have you.
Hey.
All right.
I need a step partner for the video. Can any of y'all step?
I can.
You can step.
I can. Yeah. Oh yeah.
What had happened was what I figured out from this commercial.
Football 101 and kind of round it up and finish up the show. Football 101 tonight is going to be slightly different. We're actually going to be kind of doing a recap of a couple of shows and kind of bring it all the way together. So tonight we have Mike Quick. He's sitting in for Guy Moore, and Mike was actually our guest last week. Mike is a ISHA referee. I mean, he referees all the football games in the state of Illinois that come on his radar. That he's able to ref, and also Mike does baseball and basketball. And then Plank is a former. I'm gonna go back on Mike. Mike actually played college football at Mississippi Valley State. Is that correct, Mike? Valley State. Yep. And Mike actually played a few years in the Arena League. And we're going to be interviewing Jaye Beasley, who actually played in the SWAC himself. Jaye actually played for the Alcoin State, played a year at receiver. Plank actually played 1 year of college football for Wright College, and he was a defensive back. So, hey, the first question I want to get up just to get clarity on something, Mike, is what is the difference between neutral zone infraction and offsides? Can you explain that?
Good question.
You know what? I was telling one of my friends today that he was going to put me on the spot because he does not give me the questions before the show. All right. So a neutral zone infraction is basically where a guy is lined up at the snap. So one is actually a live ball foul, which means that the flag is thrown, the penalty is actually assessed after the play. So offsides on the defense is when you see the guy jump offsides and they'll shut it down. So the neutral zone infraction is a live ball foul. So that's if a guy is lined up and you see them get the free play. Offsides on the defense is where the guy basically jumps offside. And so you have the actual neutral zone is what we call the tackle box. From the left tackle to the right tackle, if you have a tight end on that side, it extends 2 yards outside of the tight end. So the actual nose of the ball, you have to be behind the nose of the ball, can infringe upon the actual line of scrimmage. So that's basically the difference. It's kind of hard to determine. You have to determine which happened first.
Okay. Hey, thanks, Mike, for that explanation. I actually had one more question because I always heard that in football. And for those who are new to our Friday program, we have a segment called Football 101. Football 101 is like a football tutorial. And what we do is bring guests on to help people who may watch football but don't necessarily understand everything that's going on, or it's something new that you learn. So even myself, as long as I've been around football, I never knew the difference between what was neutral zone infraction and offsides. I actually thought they pretty much was the same thing. But Mike, I got one more question for you as far as rules. We see and we hear this all the time, and I'm seeing this in games. It looked like guys have Khalil Mack almost in a full Nelson. And a full Nelson is where you got a guy like this.
Armbar.
Okay. What is the definition of holding?
Nothing. No, we let it all go. I told you guys last week I hate holding. But actually, that's a good question. We teach this all the time. I'm actually a clinician with the IHSA. So we actually teach what holding is. Holding can be categorized in categories. One thing is a hook and turn, an arm bar, hook and turn, arm bar, a takedown, a pull and shoot, and all type of other stuff. But I talked about last week what discretion is, but the ball has to be at what we call the point of attack. So if the ball is ran to the left side and you got Khalil Mack at the right defensive end, they're not calling that. They're not calling that. It's got to be at the point of attack where the actual runner is what we call the point of attack. And one of those, you have to put holding into a category in order to call it. It basically is a restriction.
Okay.
Okay, I got a question
answer
for you, Mike.
Okay.
Relative to holding. Now, I've seen a couple plays where the offensive lineman grabs the defensive lineman right inside the shoulder pads.
Mhm.
And according to what they're saying on the TV, that sounds like it's legal until they move the arms on the outside of his shoulders. So if you grab him on the inside, is that good versus the outside of his shoulder being where holding is called, or what's the differentiation there?
All right. So what we look at as far as holding, and here's the key. You'd be surprised. We look at guys' feet when we determine what holding is. Yeah, I saw your face do that. I'm gonna show you. If we're sitting here and we're dancing, right? This is dancing. I'm
Love
inside
don't
and
mean
we're
a thing.
dancing.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
If you break this, yeah. Love don't mean a thing. Yeah. If I don't have you, holding don't mean a thing if I don't have you. But anyway, once the guy goes this way or this way, our feet are now in opposite directions. My feet are still standing this way. I'm trying to get to the camera. My feet are still standing this way while that guy's feet are standing that way. If I can move my feet and get my feet back parallel with his, probably not going to be a holding. So the feet, if I have feet this way, I'm good. If he breaks that way and I go that way, you have to look at a guy's feet. So if he goes to the left and I don't shift my feet over to that side and get my feet back parallel with his, more than likely it's going to be a holding if there's any kind of restriction. We look at feet, and that's weird. Like, we look at feet to determine holding.
Okay. Hey, Mike, thank you for that definition. Hey, Plank, last week on the post game, we mentioned about the Bears linebackers not covering their zone.
Yep.
I want to bring in zone, and can you explain, like, what does that mean? Because I know you did the zones on your football one-on-one, so I'm about to bring that in. And can you explain, like, what does did you want to use this one or the other one, Plank?
We can use all of them actually. So this is your basic 4-3. So we're talking about the linebackers are the ones that are highlighted in the green, and what we're looking for, which coverage the linebackers are actually going in. If they're doing a cover 2, when we start breaking down what that actually looks like, that's going into a couple different zones. Let's go into number 6. Sorry about that. Cover 2 kind of looks like this. So that means the safety split the field in half. So one safety has one half of the field, the other safety has the other half, and then you're looking at all of these underneath zones. These are the areas that the linebackers and in many times corners end up covering. So when we're talking about Danny Trevathan, how much he was getting beat, a lot of times you see him trailing guys right around this area. That's the underneath zones that he was actually missing. Jay, if you want to comment on that, or Mike, please feel free.
Yeah. Hey, Jay. Now, hey, Jay. The question I have right here. Thanks, Plank, for that.
Okay.
Plank, can you bring back up the
wide receiver tree?
Wide receiver. Yeah, route tree.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna bring that back in. Hold on. I had to remove it to add it back in. So, hey, Jay. Okay, this is my question. In reference to Planks and also the other thing with Allen Robinson. What route is that those receivers are running where the Bears linebackers are not covering their zone?
All of them, probably.
Basically all of them. Basically all of them. You have to understand, as a wide receiver, when you line up against a defense and they're in a zone, what you want to do is find a soft spot in that zone, whether it's in front of a linebacker or behind the linebacker, between a safety and a linebacker. You want to find that soft spot. And playing against a zone as a wide receiver and a quarterback that's playing against a zone and a wide receiver, you can pick up apart all day long, because as long as they stay in a zone and you find a soft spot, you're going to be able to pick up 7, 8, 9 yards a clip. So what you want to do is get behind those linebackers and in front of those safeties. And in a zone, you can pick them apart all day long.
Okay.
All day long.
So you're basically saying you want to go where they ain't.
Hey,
you basically want to go where they're not. Just find a spot on the field where you don't see a defender and sit down. That's all you got to do.
Hey, Plank, can you bring up the Allen Robinson play? Because I want Jay to Jay always talk about running good routes. And so I wanted to bring up this Allen Robinson video again. And if Jay could explain, like, what was the first problem even before the defender fell down. Hold on, let me add it into the broadcast. We may have to replay this again.
That's fine.
Okay.
You ready, Jay?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So what is the first problem that you see in this route that is ran by?
I can do it in slow motion, Jay. So if you want,
No. You don't have to do it in slow motion. I can tell you. As much y'all know I'm a big Allen Robinson fan. The first mistake he made is he didn't go beyond the first down marker.
Boom.
That was the first thing he did. If it's 3rd and 5, you cannot run a 3-yard route. You have to go at least 5.5 yards before you actually into your route. Even if the quarterback shouldn't even throw it. He shouldn't even throw it to him. On 3rd down, you have to get the first down. You cannot cut your route short. And a lot of times in that situation, that's what happened. Now, the thing about that play is the defender did fall down. Allen Robinson just didn't have field awareness. He just didn't have field awareness on that play. That's just a mental mistake, which has just basically been what's happening with the Bears all season.
Okay, so you're saying he didn't run the depth of the route correctly.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so that was the first problem.
That's the first thing.
So a receiver has to be disciplined in his routes. So many things are going on when the quarterback is back there. A quarterback like Mitch, who's kind of a little jittery, and he assuming you got the first down when he throw the ball to you. So you done ran your route short of the first, then you run back another yard or two, right? After you catch the ball. That's not good route running. Anything else you saw in that play, Jay? We'll bring it up one more time, then we're going to start in the broadcast. We're going to bring it up one more time.
Right here where he stopped his route.
Stopped his route right there, 1.5 yards short. 1.5 yards short, he stops the route.
Look at the defender.
Look at the defender is on the ground. Now he's going to catch the ball, and instead of turning up to look upfield, he runs right out of bounds. He didn't even turn upfield. He didn't even turn to look to see where the defender was at. He caught the ball short of the first down and just went right out of bounds.
Here's what's really sad. That once I watched that play again, you have seen some of the greats in the game right now. Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes, when they turn around and they get close to the stick, they stick the ball out.
Yep.
He could have stuck the ball out.
Yes.
And his forward progress, I might be talking about something else. Guys be like, what forward progress? His forward progress would have been out where the ball was out. He lackadaisically played that play, and it cost him the game in the end.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to Bears Banter. We'll be on 30 minutes after the game on Sunday. Is it a new game or a 3 o'clock game? I didn't look at the actual start.
It's a noon game. They're trying to get that over as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ain't no national audience. Ain't no national audience for this one.
Okay.
Ain't no national audience.
We'd like to thank everybody for tuning. Hold on, I see one more comment. Let me get them on the thing. Hold on, what was that? That pass was late. Okay, Derek said that pass was late.
Maybe.
So hey,
it's hard to throw a late pass on a 3 yard route.
Yeah, that couldn't have been too late. But anyway, we'd like to thank everybody who watched us on Facebook Live today and those who watched us on YouTube as well. So we'd like to say peace.